So, welcome everybody to Who's in Your Pit Crew. I had the pleasure of meeting Ms. Jennifer Phelps. Say hi, Jennifer.
Hello, everyone.
We were at a BNI at Record Busters. Woohoo! Record Busters. Um, so Jennifer's a new member at Record Busters, and she's a health coach. And I'm super excited about that because if you all have been watching me, I just seem to be blowing up with the COVID and the inactivity that happens when you're Zooming forever. So anyway, not that I couldn't have used the weight loss prior, but I have been looking for a program and I heard Jennifer speak. And so I know I'm not the only one who suffers from the weight that comes on so easily. And then, you're trying to shed even 10 pounds and it's just not moving. It just will not budge. So, Jennifer, I thought maybe we could start today with you sharing your story because she has a great story. So go ahead.
Well, Dusty, first of all, I just wanted to thank you so much for inviting me on. This is pretty exciting. And very timely too, because it's the holidays, right? And the average person gains 8 to 10 pounds during the holiday season. You add that COVID-19 that people are looking at, and 2020 just keeps getting worse and worse. And so I love the fact that you've invited me on to be able to share this, and hopefully someone might be inspired to make a change sooner rather than later. However, and a lot of people choose to do weight loss in the beginning of the year. So it's just good to know that there's a new option out there. So my story is very common. I have been somebody who has struggled with my weight my whole life. I go up, I go down. I often joke and say that I am actually really good at losing weight. My struggle is always keeping it off. And so 7 years ago, I went through a pretty terrible divorce and I did not take good care of myself. It kind of derailed me. I was eating the wrong things. I was drinking things that I shouldn't. I've always been a fan of very sugary drinks. And so in a very short period of time, I actually put on 80 pounds. And at my heaviest, I was 244.6 pounds. And, I felt terrible. I felt like I couldn't, my knees hurt. I love to take a bath to relax at night. And I struggled to even get out of the bathtub. And I was only 37 years old at the time. And I just thought to myself, this can't be the best that life has to offer.
37 and you were feeling like that.
I was. I probably felt 10, 15 years older than I really was.
Wow.
And to add insult to injury, 2 years after that, I was diagnosed with stage 3B cervical cancer.
Oh, wow.
And I'm good now. I went through
Amen.
treatment. Thank you so much. Yes, I am so grateful for my doctors at Tampa General Cancer Center. You might not even know that they have a cancer center there. Most people would go to Moffitt, but Moffitt couldn't get me in. So I am very grateful for the convenience of TGH. In fact, I ran into one of my doctors in Publix once, and I had my daughter with me, and I was like, my daughter's name's Lorelai. I was like, Lorelai, this is the woman who saved my life. And I'm in the produce department crying. That was the big wake-up call for me, because despite the fact that I felt terrible when I was extremely overweight, cancer was the thing that I needed to propel me to make a change, because I'm a single mom. That's what my divorce resulted in, me being 100% single mom. And I just beat death, right? So I have to live the best possible life that I can for my children. And I started doing things that had always worked for me. I did low carb and walking, and I lost 25 pounds. It worked. But then I discovered the ketogenic diet, and I thought, oh, keto, it's so cool. You're eating fat and you're losing weight. And it lasted about 3 months before my gallbladder just absolutely threw a fit and was like, no, girlfriend, don't do this.
Not happening, huh?
no. And I ended up in the hospital, and they didn't take my gallbladder out at the time, but I clearly couldn't do keto anymore. Right. So just like everything else, over the next year, I put on the 20 pounds that I had taken off doing keto, and I was feeling despondent again. Like, oh, what am I going to do? And I saw a friend post on Facebook that she had lost 30 pounds. And she was somebody that I could relate to, somebody that I knew. I'd watched her, lose weight before. And so I reached out to her and I was like, oh my goodness, what did you do? Now, she wasn't a coach with the program that I represent, but she introduced me to her coach, who frankly was a stranger to me. This woman lived in Utah, but I wanted something. And so I got on the phone with this woman and I did what's called a health assessment. And she asked me a variety of questions about, my lifestyle habits, my medical conditions, any medications that I took. And at the end of that conversation, she recommended a program for me that I was just kind of like, oh my goodness, this sounds amazing. Now, there's a variety of different programs that are identified through that health assessment. But for me, this program focused on nutrition and hydration and required no exercise. This girl.
Wait a minute. Did you just say no exercise? Wait.
No exercise. Now, I'm not saying that exercise isn't important. And if there are people out there who love exercise, I have a program for that. But for me at the time, I was an HR professional and I did open enrollment meetings. So we're talking October to December. I am busy, busy, busy on the road, 500 miles a week, going to clients, doing open enrollment meetings. And because I don't like to cook, I would have been stopping at gas stations, stopping at fast food. And I was really concerned that I was going to put on 15 pounds in those 3 months. But this kind of offered me with a very simple solution that didn't really require a lot of meal prep and was like I could take it with me and it was super easy. And in that same time period, I lost 25 pounds. Now,
from utilizing your program?
Yeah. So my program has like 4 components. The one is having a health coach. That's what I am. I am a health coach. And so what that involves is just a weekly phone call, a check-in, a proactive check-in to make sure that, your people are doing well. They're not having any challenges, work through it. It's really important, especially this time of the year as people are going into the holidays and being faced with challenges. Oh, I'm going to a party. And like, I know there's going to be things that I probably shouldn't indulge in. So how do I get through that? We have strategies for all of that.
So it's interesting that you say that because Weight Watchers actually puts a lot of their success on the fact that they have that weekly check-in, right? So, that weekly accountability is huge anytime you're trying to do anything. I don't care what it is. If you've got a task at your job, that weekly accountability where you've got somebody you're answering to, just make sure that you are going through your checklist and kind of checking things off. But I love, Jennifer, what you're saying is, that roller coaster that we all get on, and anybody who has ever struggled with weight, for a fact that roller coaster is devastating. You take it off to put more on. So it's interesting. And then having somebody that you can call and talk to because you're frustrated or you need some suggestions or you need to just walk through something is huge. So that's great that your program includes a health coach.
Yes. And I mean, the accountability to your point is right. Weight Watchers is a hugely successful program because of that. But what this girl didn't have was a time to like go to a meeting and sit in a chair. Like we're talking, this is a phone call. This is simple. It's less than 5 minutes a week. And, that's proactively me reaching out. That doesn't mean that my clients don't reach out to me throughout the week with various questions via text or calling, whatever the case may be. That is the beauty of just knowing that you have somebody who's in your corner, being a cheerleader for you and giving you those skills to sort of work through all of that. Mm-hmm. The second component is we have a Facebook group. Talk about a community of people, of positivity. And it's literally at your phone. Like all you have to do is pick up your phone. You got a question, you need some inspiration. All you have to do is go to this private Facebook group and you can be inspired. It's my
What's the name
favorite.
of your Facebook? What's the name of your Facebook group?
So the name of my Facebook group is Live Right. And so I personally have to add people. So if people are interested in learning more about the program, the biggest thing that I would suggest is that they either give me a call or friend me on Facebook. You can find me at Jennifer Albanese Phelps. And every day I share recipe ideas and transformation stories of people who have done this program and who have had success. Now, the biggest takeaway, go ahead, Dosta, you were
So
going to say.
the one thing that you told me when we discussed this, because I'm seriously considering doing the program with her, was that the only meal I had to concentrate on and making, because I'm not a cook either, is my evening meal, and that contained a protein and vegetables. So, I mean, you can certainly do that once you get home. Throw a piece of chicken on the grill and, cut up some vegetables and steam them. So I really like that idea, the simplicity of the actual program. You want to talk a little bit about that and how that works?
Absolutely. It really depends on which program I recommend for you after that health assessment. But the ultimate idea is that you're eating 6 times a day. Now, I panicked when my coach said that to me because I thought she was going to tell me I had to meal prep. And I stink at that. And I can do it for like a week or two, and then I just completely fall off the wagon.
Yep.
So what my clients utilize are some products from a company that I represent, and we call them fuelings. And really, it changes your mindset that food is fuel for our bodies. And so the fuelings are scientifically designed to be exactly what your body needs, so that you get yourself into a fat burning state and you aren't hungry, you have lots of energy, and frankly, the weight just kind of falls off. And it's not anything extreme, right? It's very, very gradual. Most people lose about 5 to 7 pounds the first week. A lot of that's water weight. But then after that, it's an average of about 2 pounds a week for an average of about 10 pounds a month. And
they say that's healthy, right? 2 pounds a week.
Yeah. Yes.
So guys, as you see down at the bottom here, you have Jennifer's information scrolling along. If you have any questions, you can put them in our chat box. Just wanted to remind you that. And then Jennifer, when you were talking about, the supplements that come along with it, how does that work? I mean, are they grab and goes? Do I have to prepare them?
Yep. Well, I want to kind of clarify the word that you're saying, like supplements. Like I've had a couple of people reach out to me recently and they're like, do I need to drink dragon's blood? Like, what is this? And so to me, supplements is like taking pills or something like that. There are no supplements. When I say the word fuelings, it is actually food. And they vary from bars to shakes to like these cruncher things. So yes, they are grab and go. When I first started health coaching, I was still working my full-time career. I told you guys that I was real busy. And so I'd get up in the morning, I'd start with a shake. I'd throw 4 fuelings in my bag for the day. And then every 2.5 to 3 hours, I would just grab in my bag and eat one. And it was amazing. It was just, it was the best annual enrollment I ever had because my mental clarity, like I was on it. And essentially that's what you're doing. You're getting your body working on all cylinders. It was funny to me, like the fuelings even include probiotics. I have been somebody who has struggled with stomach issues most of my life, mainly because I eat crap. And and I love that I don't experience that. The bloat goes away. My sister-in-law is one of my clients, and she's she was on the thinner side. Not to say that she hasn't lost weight with this program, but she loves to work out. But her biggest problem was always inflammation. And so by feeding your body with the proper nutrients, because this program is based on macro micronutrients and it's giving your body exactly what it needs. So she, within a week, all of that inflammation in her body was gone and she just felt so much better.
So I can honestly tell you, and I don't care if you're a person who's overweight, your body's carrying inflammation. Mm-hmm. There is no doubt about it. Speaking of sister-in-laws, this is my sister-in-law. She's in California. So good to see you, Caroline. But she's asking you to please add her to your Facebook page.
Okay.
So I want to make sure that we get that done. Anybody else who's interested, please let me know. We'll go ahead and get that information over to Jennifer. But I can tell you, like, I have plantar fasciitis. I have tearing of my Achilles heel right now, and it's all because of my weight. And I've got inflammation all throughout my body. I know that. So I'm really excited to get started with Jennifer, and I'm going to let her finish. Um,
One of the other key components for me with this program is I've talked about the roller coaster, right? And
yeah.
so losing, gaining. So this program has an education component that really changes your mindset,
Mm-hmm.
so that this isn't just another one of those things where you lose weight and you gain it back. And it includes you actually literally get this book. It's called a life book. And so you can work through your own things and all of these different elements of optimal health. Drinking enough water, getting enough sleep, managing stress, even the habit of motion. Because don't mishear me. Like, I know that exercise is important, but sometimes getting the extra weight off is probably more important before you introduce that exercise. But for long-term optimal health, you've got to incorporate it, whether it's a walk or just taking the stairs. There are very simple things that you can make, simple changes that you can make in your life that will impact your long-term success. Because the weight loss phase, that's short. It's what you do afterwards that is what really matters.
Yeah. Yep, it is. So how many of us have come off of weight loss programs to then find that we're putting it back on, even though we were able to take it off in, 4-6 months. And then boom, we're right back up where we were before, if not more. I mean, I know my hands raised high on that one. I'm waving in the air. So Jennifer, so if somebody wanted to look at your program further, what would be their first step?
Well, I would love for you to reach out to me on Facebook. I know that Caroline asked for the link, but it's as simple as just searching for me on Facebook. It's Jennifer Albanese Phelps. My profile's open. Just friend me as a friend on Facebook and message me, because what I will do is I will set up a personal health assessment with you that we will do over the phone. And I will ask you a variety of questions about your current lifestyle, your health, and then I can make a recommendation of the right program for you and help you get started. Now, if it's something that you're not interested in, or maybe it's not the right timing, that's okay. Like, I am not in the business of forcing people to do this. People always say to me, like, I couldn't do what you do. Like, I'm not a salesperson. I was like, funny you say that. I have had 4 sales jobs and I have gotten fired from every single one of them. I am terrible at sales, but I am really good at this because I really care about it. It's been life-changing for me. And, I get to be the best mom that I can be and just the best person. And I just truly love it. But there's no high-pressured sales. You got to do this because, frankly, people are only going to be successful when they are mentally ready to make a change.
Oh my goodness, isn't that true?
Mm-hmm.
So, you guys might be thinking, why did I bring on a health coach? Usually this segment is about, real estate and who's in your pit crew. If you don't feel good, if you're struggling with your weight and you're not feeling 100%, are you performing at your optimal capacity? You're not. Right? You are flying at half mast. You're pushing yourself to do things throughout the day. That should be a pleasure, and it's not anymore because it may be hurting to move, or your mental clarity. Like the one thing that Jennifer had also said was the mental clarity that she experienced from her program was just mind-boggling to think that all of a sudden I could think and I could make things happen, and they had an order to them, and I wasn't feeling like I was trying to dig through the dirt to find my answer. So I think that your program brings quite a number of items to any business professional, any single mom, any mom who's, just had children and now struggling to take that weight off, and you're just exhausted, and you're exhausted because it's the fuel that you're putting into your body. And Jennifer has a solution, guys. So Jennifer, what else would you like to tell the crew? I know that you were going through your list of the 4 things to do. Did we get them all?
We did. It's the coach, it's the community, it's the education, and then it's the nutrition made easy.
Okay.
I would just say, I've helped so many people, and some other ancillary effects that I've consistently noticed is the ability to come off medications. Like, unfortunately, our medical community, people go and they've got some medical condition, and the medical community says, here, take this pill, right? And unfortunately, sometimes that pill leads to another pill because it creates some side effects. Yep. And I had a particular client who, when she started the program, no lie, she took 18 prescriptions in the morning. 18.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. And after a month and a half of sort of healing her body from the inside out with proper nutrition, she was down to 3 in the morning.
What?
That is a big deal. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So, I mean, I've worked with 3. I've worked with diabetics. Like, this program is actually really ideal for diabetics because it really helps you keep your glycemic index very even. And so I had a type 1 diabetic who had the insulin pump and everything. And he was like, this is going to be great. Like, I know. And like, in 2 months, the man lost 35 pounds and has kept it off. I mean, it's just been remarkable. I've had people tell me I've saved their life, but really it's that other component you're talking about. It's the confidence too. It's the confidence and the energy that people, I don't know. I think we tell ourselves lies as we get older. Like, oh, I guess I just have to accept, like, this is what life is going to be like. And the truth is that is an absolute lie that you are telling yourself. I have clients that are in their 70s that never in a million years thought they could take off the weight that they're taking off. And they are feeling better than they have in years. So
if you love everything that you're hearing, reach out to Jennifer, get your personal analysis done. And as we said, her information is scrolling across the bottom. You can reach her at 813-766-1161 or go to her Facebook page at Jennifer Albanese Phillips. That's a long name, Jennifer.
Albanese is my maiden name, so I made it my middle name. And so I'm Michael Phelps, the swimmer. You're easy to find. You'll see a picture of my before and after, the same one that was on the flyer that went out. And so I'm very, very easy to find. And I look forward to helping anyone who's interested in changing their health.
So if it's your time, okay? If it's your time, if you're ready to make that weight loss commitment, give her a call. I think that you're going to be super excited. And, maybe when you start losing the excess weight, you can help somebody else. So that's all I have this week. Next week, stay tuned. So we tried to do a CPA. I'm sorry, I take that back. We tried to bring somebody on who could help you with your taxes. And we lost internet connection. So I have Robin Ray coming back next week to go pick up where we left off. So stay tuned. Come back next week, same time, 10 o'clock. We'll see you then. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, Dusty.